Welcome back to another episode of the Man That Can Project podcast. Today we have two lads, the co-founders of the Lad Collective. I wrote on my notes a Lad Collective podcast. It's not a podcast, but we'll dive into what it is shortly. But we got Bill, we got Ed, and gents, I'm super excited to have you here. As I was just saying to you guys, I was reading, mate. I'm all over the shot today, and it's probably going to dive into why you guys are going to be so helpful in my life around sleep and stuff, but I am very tired. But this is
Friday, are
mate, 100%. I'm drinking tea. What's going on with me? But you boys created the Lad Collective during peak COVID lockdown last June or August. But as we just worked out, you're coming up to your first birthday, which is, one not to be missed. Get a cake, a cupcake, and a candle, and we're good to go. But obviously the focus is to help blokes. I'm just laughing because I said I was going to be focusing while I'm reading this, and I truly am. You're helping blokes like ourselves tidy up their life, starting in the bedroom. Good place to start because I've neglected it. The boys, you boys are strong believers that success all starts in the bedroom. And mate, when you notch up a few runs in the bedroom as well, it's definitely a part of success.
It's actually a make or break.
It is 100%. I've broken that many times. I'm not very, I'll stay humble there. But the psychology behind making your bed at the start of each day, tackling and overcoming the very first challenge, and entering the day with a clear mindset is a huge motivator for you guys. Good hygiene, routine, discipline are driving factors towards launching the business and spreading the message nationwide. And some of the videos that you do are hilarious along the way, but you've discovered new and logical ways to revolutionize your everyday bedroom and bathroom essentials that frankly have been ignored up until now. And I'm going to tell you boys some stories of when I was batching. Bloody hell, I was a filthy man. From purchasing experience to the products themselves, the mission is to improve the lives of Australian men through good sleep and cleanliness. But gents, thanks for giving up your Friday afternoon. And it's bound to be a good yarn, but I'll get in early and say happy birthday for the first one coming up. What do you guys got in store for it? Have you thought about it?
No, that was actually the first time I've even said it out loud that it's our first birthday. But it's just it's exciting, and we will definitely go have probably a few hundred beers at the Regatta Hotel in Brizzy.
Oh, the old Regatta, mate. Get amongst it.
Yeah, right around the corner from our office. It's pretty dangerous, actually.
That is dangerous or convenient. Depends on the day. Then I'd imagine Friday afternoon convenient, Monday dangerous.
Yeah,
very dangerous.
But yeah, absolute pleasure to be here, Lockie, mate, and we love what you're doing. It's huge. So,
well, gents, I'll let you guys, bounce between whoever wants to answer the questions. But it'd be awesome to take us back to that COVID point when you decided that you needed to start cleaning the sheets and getting some hygiene. Had you boys showered in COVID and you were just like, look, we're pretty rank here. Let's get something going? Or
yeah, well, I guess it all just we just realized, we just had a yarn about it, that no one had ever sold bed sheets to men before. And we'd never bought bed sheets. I'm like, why is that? And we sort of circled back to our past at Airlie Beach when we shared a room together. So Bill and I were Bill was on a king size bed. I was on a single bed in the same room, and it was just carnage. It was, Airlie Beach is just a big party town. So we were just going so hard for so long, did not just neglected the bedroom in all departments. And we just realized we reached a point where we were like, we need to firstly get out of Airlie Beach because
I'm getting married there, boys.
Oh, mate. That's the problem though. It's so beautiful and you're surrounded just by
absolute bliss. Yeah. And I think that chapter in your life, it's okay. But certainly we were sucked into the Airlie Beach vortex. I lived there working for a big tourism company, actually working 7 days a week offshore on a big tourist pontoon as a caretaker, and then 7 days in Airlie Beach. So the 7 days in Airlie was just an absolute bender.
The old rip and tear, mate.
Rip and tear. 6 days out there, I was very focused on being fit and healthy, but none of it mattered. It was always just cancelling each other out. But yeah, going back to peak COVID, I was working for a logistics company, wasn't all that happy with my job working for the man. It was just not a great culture. And Ed was working for a finance company. We both sort of are very different, I guess, in terms of our character, and but we work well together. Like we've always been very close. We're 2 years apart. We're
Who's older?
I'm 26, so I'm 26, and then Eddie's
24.
So
yeah. Both, so I guess the Bill's point is we were both in sort of industries that we weren't really happy in. Like I was in the finance industry. I was actually behind the phones as a debt collector. So I was actually calling up people who don't pay their sort of phone bills and their gas bills and just getting told to piss off. And I was so over it. And Billy wasn't happy. But it wasn't just that in our jobs that we weren't happy. We just didn't have any organization, any structure. Like I was studying a uni degree. I think I was doing tourism at the time, and I just wasn't happy. Like I just couldn't see where I was going. But it all just, for some reason, and Bill and I were talking about it over a beer one night, like it all circles back to the small things that we do in our life. Like even, like I remember we were talking about it. Have you ever actually bought a set of bed sheets before? And Bill's like, no, I have not. And I hadn't. And our bedrooms were always a mess. We couldn't get that right. And I feel like you take that into your day when you walk out of the house in a pigsty. And I guess that's how it all sort of originated in COVID. It was just like a market that if our bedrooms are like that, then there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Aussie blokes out there with bedrooms just like ours who don't have control of their life.
Yeah. And there's a silver lining to the pandemic, people spending more time, within the confines of their home, spending money on and home improvements, but also personal hygiene and self-care. So we were just like, there's definitely an opportunity here. How can we make blokes more accountable in the bedroom and make them obviously more inclined to make their bed, because we know that the flow and effect is really positive starting the day off by making the bed. So we're just like, let's put corner straps on the fitted sheet, label each corner, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, and get those suckers over the edge of the mattress with ease, and put a center logo on the top sheet so you can get that even spread. A lot of blokes have OCD, and it's been crazy the amount of feedback we've had.
Yeah,
from this one Lag Collective logo in the center of the top sheet.
So you just perfectly distribute the top sheet. It's actually really satisfying.
And then every bloke's pillow is just so disgusting. Obviously, when you think about the life cycle of a pillow, especially for blokes, they sort of tend to hold on to theirs for longer than they should. So it ends up like yellow and gross, whatever. Anyway, keep the pillow, but throw it in a TLC pillowcase with an invisible zip, and you'll never touch your face in the middle of the night ever again. So that was just like the third and final USP that we added. And then we just decided to launch, and we launched like September, or sort of late August, early September. We had one set of sheets in the country at the time. We hadn't even started production or anything. We had no idea how it would go. Anyway, we had one set of sheets. We got together and pitched the idea to a couple of journalists, and one picked it up, who was writing an article in the Courier Mail, and then we just got on radio, and then eventually the Project and Sunrise picked it up, and we bloody put us on the map.
Oh, is this even? So this was when you had one set of sheets in the country.
So shit. It was these thin little straps that we were like, I don't think they're gonna hold. I don't think they got us to make. They got us to make the bet on live television. So they were like, it's a live cross, and as soon as the camera hits you, you got to make the bed.
Wait, had you actually made a bet at this point, or was that your first time on live TV?
Yeah, that was our first time on live TV and our first time making a bed.
We had one
go wrong.
One shot at it, and these straps are so flimsy and shit. Like obviously we're gonna iterate on the product when production came along, but we just didn't have the resources to be able to do it right then and there. So we winged it, and it worked out really well. Like we got heaps of orders that night and heaps of really good feedback from the Australian community. That's off the back of the project. And now we've sort of we've got customers in every state, and the business is growing really, really fast, and we couldn't be happier.
Yeah, the product's rock solid now. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges that we've ever. I remember that afternoon before the project, because they told us at about 9 a.m. that we're going to be on the 7 p.m. live cross. We were just shitting ourselves all day, just on these straps aren't going to hold. We are fucked. But we got it done, and it like just the traction from there. It was just an upward trajectory that from that day onwards. So even Koshi had put his 2 cents in. You know,
Koshi, what did he say?
Oh, he's just saying how he always makes his bed. He's got no problems. Like,
Yeah,
right, Koshi.
Is Koshi on? I can't make my bed. Well, this is my excuse, but I get up at 4 o'clock. My missus sleeps till 7, so it's not satisfying for me. But when I get in there, the bed's still made, so one of us makes a bed. But I used to be a fucking grub. I threw my 2 pillows out yesterday, and as you said, they were stained and like orangey yellow. Like, I can't believe I put my head on that. That's filth. But I actually every Sunday will wash my sheets, because there's nothing better than a Sunday evening just jumping in.
Oh yeah.
And then by Monday it's dirty again.
Yeah, I know. Mate, the old honeymoon period, mate.
Yeah, 100%. But is that why you guys then also looked at the hygiene thing? Was obviously when you're going on sunrise and stuff, you're like, geez, we need to sharpen up here as well and look at the self-care stuff?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty crazy that 1 in 4 Australian men aged between 18 to 25 only wash their bed sheets 4 times a year. So those numbers, that's pretty much a cricket score.
Filthy animals.
I know. So that in itself is a clear indicator that there's a problem that hasn't been addressed. So no home bedding company has actually spoken to blokes and said, you know what, it's time you actually buy a set of sheets and just do something about it. So the hygiene factor was sort of addressed in that department. Yeah.
That's fucking wild. That's disgusting. But I fall in that category, so I can definitely relate to that. I used to remember back in the day in the bachelor, like we used to have this batch house, which was just filthy, as probably most blokes can appreciate. And when you'd go out trying to pull a bird to bring them home, and you just got these filthy sheets, and you're like, fuck, not gonna work. About this.
You just put the girl through the ringer as well. Like circling back to Airlie's 7 days out on a pontoon, about 100k offshore, whatever. I'd have no idea who'd be sleeping in my bed while I wasn't there. I'd get back and the sheets would be fucked. I'd be like exhausted. Anyway, same thing. It was just like a constant cesspit, and your sheets are just like a petri dish. Like there's millions of different types of bacteria and fungus and
what about
excretions that you just
you don't even want to go into detail because when you actually think about it, you just like sleep on your house.
So bad. One of our mates, we were getting like a whole bunch of bedroom horror stories to sort of put on our website. It's pretty funny. So we went to probably 100 different blokes, and one bloke reckons he brought a girl home from the valley, and I kid you not, he had his sheets in the washing machine ready for a load, and so his room was just messed up. And so she got there, she was like, no, I'm not getting into your bed without sheets. So it was just fair. He was like, righto. So we ran to the washing machine that hadn't been turned on yet, got them out of the washing machine, put them on the bed, and said, yeah, all right.
We're good.
And he did talk about like the coffee that he'd spilled on his sheets earlier that day. That was the only reason why I was washing them. That would have been fucked to begin with. But we were collecting some really interesting.
We actually couldn't release any of the stories because it was just so. It was all just so much.
Really bad ones.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of blokes listening now that are like, I've been there, I know that. But like on the, I guess, the serious side of like sleep, like I look a heap into sleep just from a mental health perspective, because we live in the day and age of hustling's cool. Like, you got Gary V and people saying you should work 24 hours a day and sleep never. And sleep is one of the most underrated things for improving your mental health, your performance, which then has a ripple effect into every other area of your life. And the reason why I'm loving what you guys are doing is because it was probably 12 months ago where I started going, right, I really need to make my bedroom a place where I can feel comfortable in and just get a good night's sleep, like from a quantity standpoint, but also a quality standpoint. And having things like sheets and pillowcases and all that sort of stuff's like huge. There's a book called not Sleep Smarter, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, and he talks about so many benefits around that. But for you, gents, like obviously having had heaps of guys buy the sheets and all that sort of stuff, what are some of the feedback and stuff the boys are getting off the back of it? Apart from it just being simple to whack a bed sheet on rather than taking 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a couple of things. These blokes are purchasing because they just, I don't know, they feel like they relate to the brand. And once you identify that the problem is actually that you don't have control of your bedroom and you're not sort of sleepy enough, you sort of realize that, hell, I do need to actually buy a set of sheets. And when they do buy the sheets, it's not just a set of sheets anymore. It's become something a lot bigger. Like you're taking that first step to getting that pocket of your life in order.
Yep.
And once you get that pocket of your life in order, I feel like it opens the door to so many different opportunities and so many different clear ways of thinking that you previously didn't have. And that's what we're sort of getting. We're getting sort of a core group of blokes, and we've got a community group on Facebook. It's just amazing. Like from all around the country, these fellas are just so vocal and just loving everything to do with bedding, which is unheard of usually.
But just
brilliant.
I know. And what people don't realize is that you're talking about it like from a quantity standpoint. It's like you spend 26 or 27 years of your life in bed. So the importance of investing in sleep or sleep products that, you know, that play to that, you know, that fact is really important. And if you've got a time-saving device like such as our sheets that orientate the user, you know, you can make the bed seamlessly and efficiently, then all that time that you save over, you know, all those days, 365 days a year, whatever that you make your bed, amount to something much greater. Like you could be getting to work much earlier, you know, leaving a good impression on your boss, which leads to a promotion. It's like the features of the product equate to far greater benefits than what you know initially thought. Like there's a lot that goes into our product and how we position it in that way, because it certainly helped us out in our own sort of careers, and we know it's making a difference around Australia. So
sleep is just crucial, and the feedback we're getting is just it's just sheets that are designed. They feel like if it speaks to them, then it's like a whole new thing. It's not just sheets from Target that cost $20.
Yeah.
You know, you're purchasing quality stuff that actually is life enhancing.
Well, yeah, there's no better feeling even than from like for my missus when I come home and I've actually washed the sheets and put them on. She's like, "What the fuck is going on with you? You're a real man." I'm like, "I can do stuff outside of just." it blows their mind. So, gents, if you want one up on your missus or your partner, just bloody show them that you can do the sheets. I've got here. I took a screenshot of one of your posts. Recipe for getting your sheet together. Nice little play on words there, gents. I loved it. But obviously the better sleep and then the healthy routines. And one of them that really stood out for me, improved sex life. It's for a lot of gents, like we within our community and what we see a lot, and one of the indicators that men are at a higher risk of taking their life by suicide is a relationship breakdown. And for a lot of us blokes, and I'm not speaking for everyone, but a lot of blokes feel love and like to express love through physical touch and intimacy, right? So let's talk sex life. And, you know, the fact that you can take ownership of a bedroom and make it your own, but also make it like this little sanctuary that leads to an improved sex life, obviously then can help men feel more love, express more love in that way, which for me, when I was reading that, I was like, that's bloody brilliant. But then other things like more confidence and self-esteem, daily structure and organization, just these key things that, as you boys touched on at the beginning, seems like minute, but they have such a significant impact on your day. And, you know, if you have consistency in that area, like your whole year's going to, you know, leapfrog, pretty much like your business has over the last, you know, it's not even 1 year, but you think about the growth that you guys have had from doing all that sort of stuff. But from the healthy routines and the better sleep sort of stuff, talk us through, like obviously from the better sleep stuff I got here, we got temperature regulating, which is a brilliant one that I also took from that book I was mentioning earlier. More energy during the day, ability to think clearly, improve mental and physical health. Like, talk us through that, coming from, having a good bedroom, etc.
Yeah, definitely. So, and you're right, for blokes who do sort of crave that and look for that intimacy, because it's so important in everyone's life. Confidence is the key to that, and having confidence and pride in a small pocket of your life like the bedroom, where the most intimate moments happen, is just your stepping stone to becoming a much more sort of refined bloke, and a true sort of, it's a true testament to your character if you do have pride in your bedroom. So I think it's definitely in the health department, in terms of physical health, if you're getting 3 hours of sleep and you're going to work and you're doing that grind life that you see on LinkedIn and all that,
Oh, man, yeah.
It's not a healthy way to live your life, and it's actually just wearing on you. You just burn out. If you sleep for 8 hours a night, you're maximizing your potential to just really just succeed that day, and your energy levels are through the roof. You're alert and you can just respond to any situation. Whereas if you're running on fumes from a couple of hours sleep, how are you supposed to do that? So
yeah, and so circling back to the composition as well of like the fabric, so it's 60% bamboo, 40% cotton. Like, we went to a great length to identify a synthetic fabric that that is good for men. So like, from the color of the sheets, which is our flagship product, is like a blue gray, hides those unidentified fun stains, but also
UFSs.
we're encouraging folks to watch well, UFSs, to a fabric with that bamboo component that helps regulate temperature so you sleep better, wicks away moisture. Blokes typically run at a higher temperature. So we found a product that sort of helps regulate that temperature. All in all, it just helps. And then, yeah, that confidence element's so true. Like, intimacy is so important, and everyone, wants to have the best chance at finding that, that potential life partner is what we call it. So it's a make or break. You're out one night, you brush shoulders with that potential life partner. What are you going to do to really improve your chances of, creating a relationship with this person? Like, you instantly think about what the state of your bedroom's like. Is it gross? Is it just like an absolute shithole? You're probably less inclined to have a good conversation with that lady or that man, and then you end up, wasting the opportunity. We really bring it home that, like, if you're using our sheets, you'll make your bed, you'll be confident when you're out, when you're socializing, and then improve your chances of love life. And I just think it's really important. So I've gone off on a bit of a tangent, but
mate, take the tangents. I love them. They work a treat.
Yeah.
What about for you boys? Like, prior to launching the Lad Collective, like, was sleep and hygiene, all that sort of something that you prioritized anyway, or how did it sort of come about?
Yeah, I feel like we're heading in that direction. I feel like I reached an age where between sort of 19, 20, 21, I just felt like I was constantly, it was like a residual hangover constantly. Like, I felt like I was tired all the time. I got to the point where I was sick of going out, sick of wasting money. And I was sort of craving like just to be organized, get my finances in order, and just be more set up for success. And I just didn't have any direction. And I feel like I just started cleaning myself up in the bedroom. Just day by day, I just got better and better at, doing my laundry, washing my sheets. And then it reached a point where it actually this is actually doing something for me, like you sort of start taking control of your bedroom, and then the business idea, so to speak, or the opportunity arose. Yeah, through probably months prior, just getting better and better and better at the small things.
Yeah, 100%. It's always cool to see how it comes about for people, and I think that's what makes you guys so passionate about it, is you've experienced it, and then it was an idea that was born because you can see how much it's impacted you boys, and then wanting to help other blokes improve in that that area. And it's definitely one that's hugely overlooked. Like when we first got connected, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard of, but I can't believe blokes are doing it. Like it's such an interesting area to take ownership. Like we talk about taking ownership for your health, your finances, your relationships, but never really the self-care. Sort of, I've only just got into grooming, boys, like fucking always filthy beard and everything like that. But as I touched on before, like it makes me feel so empowered when the missus gets home and I have done this, tidied up the bedroom and all that sort of stuff. And you can get in there after a long day, open your door, and there's this gorgeous bed looking at you going, come on, mate.
I know.
You can't.
It's nothing better.
No, you can't beat it. What, like, in regards to the simplicity of it all, I know you got the straps and all that sort of stuff, which for me is a game changer, like just knowing which way you got to pull it, because the amount of times I'll put the ones with the elastic, like I'll put the other sheet underneath and then the elastic will be the top sheet until I realize that I've fucked up again.
Yeah.
Boys, the amount of times I do that, because you just get in the zone, you have your headphones in, you're making the bed, you put your pillowcases on, and then you realize the fitted sheet is the elastic one. So that gets me quite frequently. But so for everyone out there listening who's just a beginner like me, it's fine. You still get through it. You can still score and you can still have a good night's sleep. It's just, don't tell anyone about it. But like the simplicity of it was all laid out super simple for you boys. I know we were talking at the start about having you got the label, and I actually was watching one of your videos about the towels, and it's like you wipe your face with the. You talk me through that one.
Yeah, the towel. The towel idea actually came probably about 6 months ago. So probably halfway through our 1 year anniversary. I was getting out of the shower and I was sort of drying myself, and I go up to dry my face. I'm like, hold on a second. Am I about to dry my face with my nuts or my ass? So I don't know. Because I was doing the shimmy. I was off my own world. And I was like, hold on a second. I don't know where this side's been. So I was like, why don't we just bloody put a logo on one side so you know that's the side you use to dry your face and the other side's used to dry your nuts. So, and that's actually, and we're telling more and more people about it. And they're like, I didn't even think about that. I've been drying my face with my ass my whole life.
Yeah, you've been teabagging yourself.
Yeah, 100%. It's filthy. And here we are thinking we're respectable.
Yeah, and we've developed a formula. It's called Hair, Body, and Balls. So we're branching out into like the male cosmetics now as well. So it's a 3-in-1 wash. So wash your hair, wash your face, wash your body, wash your balls with one thing in the shower. Like one 1 liter bottle of hair, body, and balls. No unnecessary plastic. You're not going to pinch your girlfriend's good, expensive blonde shampoo or whatever. Not knowing what it is. It's relationship saving. Space saving, environmentally bloody, on point product that we're selling a fair bit of now. It's starting to resonate, really. Bedroom, bath, and laundry. It's bloody.
It's sold in the no-brainer bundle.
The no-brainer bundle.
It's called the no-brainer because it's an absolute no-brainer. You got the bed sheets, you got the towels, you got the hair, body, and balls, and we've also got the TLC superwash laundry powder. So it's like if you're moving out of home, your mum or yourself will just set you up with no-brainer bundle and you're good to go.
Yeah, I saw a few of the videos you put up of the lads thanking their mums for hooking them up with that. Like, I think that's...
Yeah.
If you boys were around 10 years ago when I moved out of home, mum would have been like, thank fuck. There's something.
It's a great gift idea, that one, the no-brainer bundle.
I'll start getting it for the boys as like a client of the month sort of thing. Hey, look after yourself.
Yeah.
With the bundles and all that sort of stuff, like that's pretty, it keeps it simple for us. Like, to be fair, I use a soap sud. It's probably giving away too much, but I just use a soap sud to wash my hair, to wash it. Like, I don't even use shampoo. That's how much of a, I wouldn't say grub. I wash my hair and all that sort of regularly, but just, what would you even call that? Just fucking basic?
Well, it is basic.
Well, your hair looks good now.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I got it done for this.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It's all the same stuff, like there's brands that just constantly come out with new product lines, but essentially it's all the same thing. So, and we realize that just through talking to the chemist, that helped us with the formula. We had the formula, we just came to it just like, this is what we want. And he's like, yep, done, because it's all basically the same stuff. So like, we're just like on track, keep it on par with our sheet set, keep it really simple. It's always just, it's always simple. Just don't overcomplicate things, because blokes don't like things being overcomplicated. So.
Yeah, the chemist is located in North Brizzy.
Yep.
It's a Brisbane made product, which is pretty cool. But
Cool.
what he was saying is some of the brands out there, the cosmetic brands, just say, they'll say, oh, we've got this avocado blend, some weird shit, and he calls it mice milk. So he just says, yeah, he's like, it's bullshit. They'll put in 1% of like the extract from avocado, and then they'll say that this is beautiful avocado face wash. It's going to change your life, but it's actually the same thing as everything else.
Yeah. So mate, it's like, use the soap bar, use whatever it takes just to feel clean. It's like another mental thing. Like you step out of the shower after going through your routine. If you feel clean, then you are clean. It's just like, just don't overcomplicate it. Just
why do you reckon so many of us blokes don't take responsibility for that area of our life and are actually like, the fact that we don't clean our sheets that often? Why the fuck do you think that is?
Yeah, I don't know. Life has a tendency to create this fog, whether it's a work fog, whether it's just like feeling foggy on a Monday morning after a big weekend. You just mind, for blokes, our attention span's pretty short typically. And I feel like I certainly catch myself just in a daze sometimes, just not really thinking about these small pockets that we need to be sort of focusing on, all the small obstacles that you have to overcome at the start of each day, namely making your bed. I don't know. I just think blokes too busy lives, and if you're consumed in your work, with your work, or if you've had a fight with your partner, then you're going to be thinking about that. And I think sometimes blokes have a tendency to miss the mark a bit on that.
I think it's also a perception thing. It's a lot of times, blokes are, it's like almost like a cultural sort of appreciation for blokes always being grubby. And it's like, you're a young bloke, you don't look after your stuff. So it's almost becomes socially accepted that blokes are like that.
Yeah, and then you convince yourself that you're one of those blokes when you're not really. I mean,
like if you take control, all you got to do is just buy a set of sheets, and you're automatically ahead of 80% or 90% of blokes out there, because they don't shop for bed sheets. So it's like almost like a systematic sort of, you grow up in that sort of way.
Yep.
Or at school and stuff like that, it's all banter, it's all talking shit, and so you just get conditioned to be a little bit grubby in the bedroom and focus on. But then when you get older, you sort of focus on your career and relationships, and you sort of grow up not making your bed and stuff like that. Then you take that on into adulthood.
Yeah. I suppose it's a lot like when you get a haircut or buy a fresh set of clothes, like you just feel good. Like,
yeah, 100%
on. So you can do that every day in the bedroom, just with making your bed, washing the sheets, doing all that sort of stuff, which is nice and delicious.
Blokes just spend money on all these different things, whether it's whether it's gambling or alcohol or whatever they're interested in. Doesn't matter. Like, what does matter, but I mean, each their own. It's like, you sort of, if you reward yourself every time you get paid with maybe like a new shirt or bloody get a haircut or something, I think you do sort of start to appreciate yourself a lot more. It's about, I mean, everyone has their own way to manage those pockets of their lives, but I think that's really important, to self-indulge sometimes.
100%. So where can people? I got some rapid fire questions for you in a second, but like, if for blokes who actually want to start taking ownership of the bedroom and get themselves some sheets or even the bundle or some, what's the body wash called again? The balls.
Hair, body, and balls.
I should be able to remember that. Hair, body, and balls. When you said it originally, I was like, that's nice and simple, and then I forgot it. But hair, body, and balls. If they want to head over and get all that sort of stuff, where do they head?
Yeah, just theladcollective.com. We just got a website, super easy to use. That's another thing that we've been working hard at, is making the website a piece of piss to use. So you just know your bed size and you're good to go. We're not cluttering.
Your bed size, that's a whole new ball game for most
Yeah,
blokes.
yeah, it's so true. But you know what's funny about that is like so many people don't know the size of their bed.
It's like if you fit 2 people in there, it's double, right?
Yeah.
When I had the batch pad, I had a king single and I used to fit 2 people in there. And then when I actually got a big bed, I was like, holy shit, you can start off with, got 50 people in here now. It's perfect.
Yeah, just the website, theladcollective.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and we talk a bit of shit on our social media and have a good go at it.
Yeah, definitely have a look at the Instagram. There's some funny ass videos on there. I'd imagine they'd be on Facebook as well. But let's hit some rapid fire questions, boys, before I let you rip into the Friday afternoon. Some of them are like serious, some are not. Oh, yeah, sort of not. What are you boys curious about right now?
I'm curious about post-COVID business. I think it's changed forever. And I think what I'm curious about is how university is going to sort of, I guess, update their curriculum, because it's completely different now, the landscape that we live in, the way business operates. I'm really curious about what and how they're going to, navigate the business world.
And that sort of dovetails into my curiosity, which is like, our business is strictly like an e-commerce business. How are we going to, like, how reliant are our international suppliers going to be, in the near term, I guess? Like, COVID's going to be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. For us to rely on overseas suppliers to source our product because it's too hard to do it here in Australia and it's not cost effective. How is that going to look, in 6 months, a year, a few years time? Like, it fascinates me how I guess supply chains are really, are functioning right now, I think, in the face of adversity. So yeah, that's just what
I'm with you boys there. It's going to be exciting to see. I think it's, for a lot of people, it's been the best thing, because now I think a lot of us are creating a way where we can have more flexibility in our life as well, even though still work your ass off, but e-commerce and all that sort of stuff is a fun thing. And it's a lot more, you guys are authentic as all hell, which is sweet. So you don't feel like you have to pretend to be someone to get a promotion or whatever. I think so. Be exciting, that's for sure.
Sure. And we're keen to see what other brands come out of the woodworks as well post-COVID, like us. Like, it's just given rise to so many unique online businesses that previously wouldn't have had the leg up like we've had post-COVID. So it's an exciting landscape. It's bloody
oath. What book are you boys reading?
I'm reading 2 books at the moment. I'm reading Barefoot Investor, and I'm also reading Sell Like Crazy.
Who's Sell Like Crazy? I know Barefoot Investor. That's a cracker, but
Sabri Subi.
Yeah. Someone actually told me to look at his stuff a while ago. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, he's like he's from King Kong marketing agency in Sydney. He's just a wild man.
Is it good so far?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's just interesting.
Sweet, I'm gonna buy it.
And I am rereading Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. It's a good one.
You get value out of it? I haven't read that one either. Give me, boys, some. I actually got a Kindle yesterday, boys. Literally, it's down on the floor there charging.
How do they? Is it a screen? How do they work? How does it?
Well, I actually haven't got a book on it yet, but I got it yesterday. Look at that.
Oh, what do you scroll through the pages?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. like I was always, a couple of my clients have got Kindles. They're like, get a Kindle. It's fucking awesome. I'm like, boys, I love the smell of a book. And like,
I know, as do I. I think
and it's almost like a badge of honor seeing the books fill up on my bookshelf. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm badass. But now I got one, so I don't know how it works yet. I plugged it in, but I've just been too busy to actually get on it. So I'll keep you updated. But but that's where I'm at with that, which is cool. What is your favorite training exercise? I'm getting all tangled up here.
My favorite training exercise, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Are you in the BJJ?
Yeah, love it. Just got my blue belt the other day. I'm pretty stoked.
Which one's? I'm fucking ignorant here. Where are we at with blue?
So it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black.
And how long have you boys been doing it for?
I've been doing it for about 4 years. Billy's about 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months. Loving it. It's the best thing ever. I would encourage anyone to give it a go.
I'm getting worried. Bill's a lot bigger than me, but I've been doing a lot longer. So I'm a bit more technically sound, but he's a strong prick. He's pretty big. So
The battle of the brothers.
he's starting to throw me around a bit. So it's a bit unnerving.
Yeah, well, that'd be perfect that you boys can just throw down in the office whenever there's a disagreement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoever taps out's fucking got the hard jobs. Everyone that's, there's so many people that, or my mates and stuff doing it. They're like, come do it. One of my mates dislocated his finger. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So many injuries. I had a shoulder recon because of it. Yeah, fully just got picked up and dropped and dislocated my shoulder. And then it was just dislocating about 4 times a day for about 3 months. I had to get it fixed.
Shit. Yeah, right. I've just been watching all the fun highlights and you're like, oh, that looks all right. But then you start seeing the injuries. I'm like, yeah, nah. I just want to get into my comfy bed and just relax, be a man of leisure. What's your go-to order at your favorite restaurant? Probably give us your favorite hometown restaurant as well. What's the go-to order?
Oh, this one's a tricky one.
I know, man.
Because
time.
Yeah. You know what? My favorite, there was this place just down the road in Sherwood. It literally just shut down, not even kidding, 3 weeks ago. It was called Bar 9. And they had this burger called the Elvis Burger. And it was like a double patty, bacon, onion rings, huge thing. And it was just incredible. But it's just recently shut down, so I'm all over the place now.
Don't know what to do with yourself.
What about you, Billy?
Probably just a good old fashioned palmy as like a food group category. I reckon that just takes it out. But
I went to the have you been to the Norman Hotel?
I have before. Yeah.
I went there before the footy last night, and the palmy, hands down the best palmy I've ever had in my life.
Would you put that down to like the size of the palmy or like what?
No, yeah, it was quality size, but it just felt like tasted like fresh chicken. You know how some palmies are like burnt, and then the schnitzel itself is just well done and chewy.
Yeah.
This was just like mum was probably jumping in a nice set of fresh bed sheets where you're just like, fuck, this is so comfortable.
This is a legitimate palmy.
Oh, yeah, it was next level. So good. So get down to the Norman. I think it's so good. My final one. What's your definition of being a man?
Yeah, Billy and I talked about this before the podcast. So my definition has been able to using life experience to be able to overcome adversity. So being composed and confident enough to overcome bad situations.
Solid. I like it.
Yeah. I think drawing on, retrospective things, like things you've done in the past, certainly that really, enforce, better decision making. Like I've made some poor decisions when I was younger, probably living early, now it's just sort of like.
Oh, you got some quality stories.
Yeah. Oh, it's unending. But yeah, you do reach a point where if you start the day by making the bed and, just becoming more independent, even in that sense, like you are, on a positive step towards manhood, I think, and being a man and just, just focusing on yourself. So I think
Out it.
Yeah.
I like it, boys.
Love it.
Well, gents, I honestly truly appreciate you boys coming on. It's been good to chew the fat with you and find out more about what you guys are doing and obviously the importance of it. Like I said, I've been really diving into sleep and everything in the last 18 months. And I think it's you want the 1%ers, fucking get your sleep sorted, get your self-care sorted from a confidence standpoint, from an energy standpoint, from a mental well-being standpoint. You nail this, and it's something that, as you boys said, it's simple to do. All you got to do is go on the website, click purchase, then follow the tabs. Don't fuck it up. If you can't make your bed sheets, then
there's a few issues there.
There's a few issues going on there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I appreciate you boys jumping on, and I love everything that you're doing. I look forward to following the continued success and having a heap of, obviously, our community as well, purchasing some sheets. Quick question. Are you guys international yet or just Australian at the moment?
So we're just Australian at the moment.
Any plans? Are you thinking?
Yeah, big plans.
Yeah, so we're getting it with boarding schools now in Australia. So we're supplying like boarding school bundles. So like taking that responsibility away from the parent, providing everything the kid needs. And now we're looking to the UK to really expand that into the boarding school market. But yeah, that's just like a segue into a much bigger market, which is still blokes. You know, we're just nurturing blokes from a younger age all the way through and just enforcing that, making your bed.
That's quality, especially, you know, for those who've been to boarding school, it's like you're taken away from it all the comfort in the world.
Yeah.
And then you get your own fresh little pair of sheets. That's
it. It's feeling at home while at school. That's just like what we're going by. So
it's going to be awesome to watch, boys. But I appreciate you, and everyone who's listening or watching or whatever. Just click the link in whatever bio you're watching on, and all the details will be there. So it makes it super easy for you as well. Because much like Bill and Ed, we like to keep it simple for you guys to take action and create change. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you shortly.
Mate, thank you so much. It's such a great thing that you're doing, and we got to catch up for a beer soon, Lockie.
Mate, 100%.